As the year comes to an end, a lot of us, many people, are involved in vision crafting, targeting certain plans for the new year, which are very commendable. However, not many people are auditing the weights that need to be tackled to achieve those goals. And many do not experience the set goals and targets, not because they didn't have plans, very good plans, but because they are too heavy into the targets. Heavy with indecision, heavy with misalignment, heavy with neglect and all its related forms. I'm Bimbo Ilori, and on Bib's Purpose Talk today, I would be starting this series titled Drop This Before the New Year. And today's episode is titled Indecision or Unfinished Decisions. And in this video, you're going to identify if you are dealing with indecision, ways to tackle it, ways to mitigate it when it becomes, turkey, and how to overcome indecision. If you are one of those people that is seeking to gain more, achieve more in this year, and you've been wondering why some goals were not achieved last year, then this is the video for you. Make sure you wait till the end, watch till the end, and don't miss any part. Indecision is simply not stepping up or doing what you ought to do at the right time. And the problem is that it is a very heavy weight to carry when you have a goal that you are accelerating or working towards. And it matters because you don't move faster by pushing harder, but by moving lighter. And the fact is that indecision itself is already a decision. Because every decision you have refused to attend to is serving decisions on your behalf. Yes, those decisions you postponed, those conversations you refused to have, you avoided, or the choices you have delayed making because it felt uncomfortable, they are all serving on your behalf. However, those decisions are not working in your favor. That's the difference. Indecision is a decision that is not working in your favor. And you don't move faster by pushing harder. This is why you need to shed that weight so you can move lighter and faster. So, 5 keys that you can use to handle indecision. And one is this. Always identify what decision you need to make. Name it. What are you avoiding? What is the issue? Identify it and capture it. Write it down. Don't leave it in the air. Secondly, put a time frame to it. Make sure that decision is time bound. 24 hours, 48 hours, put it. In fact, the decisions you need to make for the new year, put a time frame to it. Third, sometimes your indecision might be stemming from lack of expertise. You're not quite schooled or conversant in that situation. Then you are encouraged to get help. Seek counsel, seek professional help, and let somebody put you through. Right? And number 4, reduce the stakes. What are the odds against you peradventure you go ahead with this decision? Because really it is these odds, these stakes that sometimes make people to kind of, drag and be wondering whether to or not. So reduce the stakes. If I take this decision, I might not get this. Fine. What's the cost of not getting that? So identify the stakes and bring it down. And finally, I want to encourage you to commit to progress, not perfection. You're going to have to just step out and you're going to have to start. Even if it's a conversation that's difficult, you're going to have to say it to the best of your ability. And not saying or putting it away, it's not your best route. I have had to put off certain decisions that should have been attended to earlier. And at the end of it, it costed more. And this year is not going to be a year of regrets, right? It's a year of being decisive and intentional. And I understand that sometimes also the reason these decisions are being held back is because you're being thoughtful, you're being considerate, you're thinking about the other person. And that is also commendable. However, be mindful that even though you need to be patient, you must also be intentional. And so put a time frame to that action at the end of the day. Set a time frame, and in between when you eventually decide to launch or act, use that period to gather information, understand the technicalities or the solutions that you're trying to approach or use, the dynamics, so that at the end of all of the waiting, then you have acquired wisdom. Your waiting becomes wisdom. Because timing is a tool, is not a hiding place. When you are dealing with timing and you're using it to mitigate the situation, right? Understand that you must put a frame, a bound, or a limit to it. And then this limit, when does it end? When is this deadline so you can act? Because time is simply a tool that helps us to know when to start and when to stop. Or set a time frame and the time limits to your wait. And so indecision is a weight that is going to slow down anyone that is carrying it. Understand that even in waiting, in being emotionally intelligent, there is intentionality. You must put a time frame, and it is good to be compassionate and be intentional. Don't end up in regrets in the new year. And also, wrapping up, make sure you are mindful of the 5 keys I shared. To identify what you need to decide on, to put a time frame to it, to get expertise, to reduce the stakes, and to commit to progress, not perfection. And so much so for indecision, one of the weights that you need to shed before committing to your goals in the new year. That's all for today. Till I come your way again on Bib's Purpose Talk, and this particular series drop days before the new year. I remain yours truly, Bimbo Ilori, and don't forget to share the weights. Bye for now.